The car engine hums softly. Amaka grips the steering wheel, her mind racing. Flashbacks of her moments with Chinedu flood her mind, his laughter, his touch, his kindness. But now, all of it feels like a nightmare. It wasn't a dream. It wasn't a cruel joke. Chinedu, her Chinedu, was her son. The same boy she had cried for. The same man she had unknowingly loved. The thought was suffocating. Her phone buzzes. It's a message from Chinedu. Hope you got home safe. I had a great time today. Chinedu tested. A tear slips down Amaka's cheek as she stares at the screen, her hand trembling. She doesn't respond. Instead, she grips her chest as a sharp pain grips her heart. How could she ever face him again? How could she tell him the truth? Would he hate her? Would he ever forgive her? Or was this the end of everything? Her hands tighten around the steering wheel as she lets out a strangled sob. The weight of her reality presses down on her, making it hard to breathe. We need to talk. The next day at Amaka's living room. Amaka's trembling hands as she holds the DNA test result. The envelope is slightly crumpled from how tightly she grips it. Across from her, Chinedu sits on the edge of the couch, his expression a mix of confusion and silent dread. Nkem, standing nearby, watches with bated breath. Amaka's voice barely above a whisper. This paper, it holds the truth I have been searching for. She hesitates, swallowing hard. Her heartbeat is deafening in her ears. Chinedu, restless, leans forward. Chinedu said gently, but firm. Amaka, whatever it says, we'll deal with it together. Just open it. With a deep breath. Amaka's fingers shake as she tears the envelope open. The sound of ripping paper is excruciatingly loud in the silence. She unfolds the document, her eyes scanning the lines until they land on the result. 99.9% match. Her breath catches. Her grip loosens, and the paper drifts onto the table. The weight of the revelation presses down on her like an avalanche. Amaka's voice cracking, barely audible. Oh, my God. Nkem rushes to her side, peering over at the document. Her gasp is sharp, her hand flying to her mouth. Nkem, stunned, whispering. It's true. Chinedu is your son. Chinedu's face freezes. His body tenses, as if the world around him has just shattered. He blinks, trying to process. Chinedu, hoarsely. No, that's impossible. He grabs the document, his eyes scanning the words, but the truth is undeniable. His breath becomes uneven. Amaka, still in shock, clutches her chest as silent tears stream down her face. Amaka is broken, whispering. I lost you, and I loved you. All this time. I didn't know. Chinedu shakes his head, standing abruptly. His movements are stiff, as if his body no longer belongs to him. He stumbles back a step, horror creeping into his features. Chinedu shaking, voice rising. No, this can't be real. This has to be a mistake. Nkem's eyes glassy with tears, steps forward. Nkem gently, but firm. Chinedu, we all need to breathe. We need to. Chinedu, shouting, overwhelmed. No. The word echoes through the room. He turns away, running a shaky hand over his face. The walls feel like they are closing in. Amaka watches him with desperation, wanting to reach out, but knowing she can't. Amaka, pleading, through sobs. Chinedu, please. He exhales sharply, his chest rising and falling erratically. Then, without another word, he storms toward the door, wrenching it open. A cold gust of wind rushes in as he disappears into the night. Amaka collapses into the couch, her sobs racking her body. Nkem kneels beside her, wrapping her in a tight embrace. Weeks later, Amaka sits, staring at old baby photos she never got to cherish. Her heart is heavy with sorrow, with guilt. Every day since that moment, she had waited, but Chinedu had disappeared. Time had passed, but the pain remained. The silence was worse than the heartbreak. It was a slow, excruciating death. Chinedu had stopped calling. Stopped texting. He had vanished into his pain, and Amaka could do nothing but grieve. A knock on the door. Amaka hesitates, her heart leaping in hope. She rushes to open it. Chinedu stands there, his face unreadable, but his eyes tell a different story: conflict, pain, longing. "Can we talk?" Chinedu asked. Amaka steps aside, allowing him in, her heart pounding. There were no easy answers. No quick fixes. But in the ashes of heartbreak, there was still a chance for healing. They sit in silence for a long moment, both struggling with the words they don't know how to say. Chinedu, softly, hesitant. "I don't know how to process this. I don't know how to move on from what almost happened." Amaka nods, understanding the pain too well. Amaka tearful smile. "We take it one step at a time." Then, hesitantly, Chinedu reaches for her hand. A silent understanding passes between them, a mother and son, lost and found, trying to mend what was broken. They could never undo the past. They could never erase the pain. But they could choose to walk forward, together, as mother and son. They clasped their hands as the rain continued to fall outside, washing away the pain, bringing hope for a new beginning. The past always finds its way back, no matter how deeply buried. The truth will always surface, sometimes in the most painful way. Love and pain can coexist. Amaka's love for Chinedu was pure, but the truth turned it into heartbreak. Love isn't always joyful, sometimes it's devastating. Some truths are hard to accept. Chinedu's reaction shows that not all truths bring closure immediately. Some truths shatter everything before healing begins. Healing takes time. Pain doesn't disappear overnight. It takes time, space, and courage to rebuild broken relationships. Forgiveness is a choice. Chinedu's return proves that while some wounds may never fully heal, choosing to mend relationships is a step toward peace. Fate is unpredictable, life's twists are often unexpected, and sometimes, the very thing we search for turns out to be something we wish we had never found. Hope exists even in darkness. Even after everything, there is still a chance for healing, understanding, and a new beginning. Comment what you learned from the story, like, share, and follow for more. Thanks.